Shank Rock is the wave of the future. The diagrams that I have up, where did this go wrong at?
Remember, we didn't know this happened to her.
Okay. But that's in the trial. There's nobody on a jury that's going to watch these tapes. He done did 7 to 8 different interviews and a book where he done bragged, talked about this stuff in details.
Around 3 o'clock that morning, I got random text messages and it was just pictures of her and the other little girl. I thought it was strange.
Now, some of y'all might say, who is Shank Rock? Shank Rock is black media. Well, what is black media? Black media is all about allowing black people to be themselves first. It's not about race. It's not about religion. It's not about politics. It's about doing what's right. It's about holding those that needs to be held accountable to be held accountable. I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration right here. Salute to the chat. Salute to the replay gang. Salute to all of my wonderful moderators. I see everybody down there in the chat. Where is Nazaria Harris? Somebody knows. We're going into almost 3 years into this case, right? And the $1 million question that's always asked is, where is Nazaria Harris? Now, what are we going to do? Are we going to keep assuming, or are we going to go by what has been presented to us in this case? Now, remember the victim's impact statement, right? And remember Jarvis's sister pleaded with Jarvis to tell where Nazaria's remains are. Drop a 1 if y'all remember that. Drop a 1 so I can know that we're all on the same page. She made it clear to Jarvis to tell where Nazaria's remains are, right? Let me read my copyright disclaimer before we go any further. Let me put it right here as well. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. All right. Now, I want everybody to stay right there, because the answer to where Nazaria Harris is really right there if we pay close attention. Why did she say to Jarvis, tell them or tell where Nazaria is, right? And everybody got their own opinion and their own perspective on it, you know. Now, we know that Jarvis knows where Nazaria's remains, even if you still believe that Jarvis didn't do it alone, even if you believe that Shannon, somebody else done it, we all know that Jarvis definitely knows where her remains. And I'm going to tell y'all how. And I've said it from the beginning. I've said it from the beginning, and I'll say it again. Unless Jarvis had something to do with it, Jarvis wasn't going to take that red rum. Nobody is going to take that red rum unless they had something to do with it or unless they know about it. His plea, remember what the plea was. The plea was for him to tell something, some fact, something factual about the case. There's many different perspectives on that. He BSing, Shank. Woo-dee woo 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 woo. However, why did they put that in his plea? Because Jarvis knows where Naziah is. Now, I didn't cover the case, and I didn't took a deep dive, and I even looked at it from a whole lot of different perspectives. But it still boiled down to Jarvis. And that's what I was waiting for. And I said, if Jarvis take it to trial, and if Jarvis is found guilty, then we know Jarvis knows about what happened. If he take a plea, Jarvis knows about what happened. Now, just hang around with me for a little bit because we're going to get into Kim Worthy. We're definitely going to get into Kim Worthy. Now, when it comes to where is Naziah Harris, somebody knows. Now, I'm going to tell y'all my perspective. And as it play out, I do believe that those that I'm going to tell you who knows where Naziah is, when this thing play out, everybody that I say knows where Naziah is. Jarvis, Kim Worthy, Miss Annette, Shannon, and Marquita. Those 5 know exactly where Naziah is. And I'm going to prove to y'all according to what we know. I ain't even going to give y'all my perspective. I'm not even going to give y'all my opinion. I'm going to give y'all why those 5, why they know. Jarvis, he took the plea. Jarvis told him, I dumped them in the Rouge River. I know. There's going to be some that's going to say, Shank, he lying. Jarvis dumped Naziah's body in the Rouge River. Now, what happened after that, we're going to find out. Because remember, even the psychics, even the mediums said that they kept moving Naziah's body. Not only the medium said that, I think the majority of social media has said they moved Naziah's body at least more than once. So you could best believe Jarvis dumped her body in that river. Now, there's many of you all that say Shank, he was the cleanup man. I can agree with y'all. But the point that I'm making is, regardless of what part Jarvis played in it, Jarvis definitely dumped her body in that river. Jarvis definitely knows where she is. I mean, but I'm going to give it to y'all. But do I really gotta give y'all why Annette, Shannon, and Marquita know? I'm going to give it to y'all. In the plea agreement, not the actual plea agreement, but in the, matter of fact, let me find it. Because I want to make sure that I'm accurate on everything that I say. So just bear with me. But, and I think it's in that plea agreement, but it talks about the Naziah's whereabouts is not made to the public. That's Miss Annette. See, Miss Annette, no. But Miss Annette did not want it to be made public. And that's why it's there. Let me grab some comments, y'all. I want to get my chat involved. Yes, we know she was moved multiple times. Oh, he did it and Shannon made him, or she was going to tell what he was doing to her Naziah. Give me a minute, y'all, because I want to make sure that I'm accurate. But it talks about them not releasing Naziah's whereabouts to the public. Only family. Miss Annette, Shannon, and Marquita. That's the family. Right? And those are the three members of the family that I said. Lady D says, I can't wait to see what Judge Sabre says on Friday. Yes, and if y'all haven't already heard, and I can make this known because it's public, the Judge Sabre, the light-skinned woman, she will be on Trudy's Uncensored at 1 p.m. Now, also on Friday, Maisha will be doing a marathon. I think Maisha said it's going to start 10 a.m. to maybe 10 in the evening. But on Friday, and also I got to plug me. Friday is my birthday. So it's three major things that's going to be going on Friday. Number one, my birthday. Number two, Trudy Uncensored 2 will be interviewing Judge Sabre. And also Maisha will be having a marathon where she'll be having the different content creators that has been covering the case, and some of y'all subscribers also will be able to pull up. So make sure y'all check out 2 on Friday at 1 p.m. and make sure y'all check out Maisha from 10 to 10. And make sure y'all send Shank Rock something for his birthday, even if it ain't nothing but $1. Cash App is $$ERICMCINT. But let me move on, y'all. Sean says, I believe she was moved. They not moving nobody. Black people not doing nothing like that. This not no mob movie. I see you, Perk. I see you, Bird. 80s, baby. I see y'all. I don't believe she's in water. Why not tell her mother? I see y'all, Cynthia. I see the chat. The kickback queen. I see. I really don't feel JB did the unaliving, but I feel Shannon does. But I believe Jarvis got rid of Naziah's body. Now, another thing that I could say, let me grab this real quick, y'all. Appreciate that, Bird. Happy birthday, Shank, in case I don't catch you online. Appreciate that. I think Shannon, all right. I see you, Miss Cheeks. I think Shannon did the unaliving. I want to know why can't Vari know where his sister remains are. I'm sure Vari know as well. You know, I'm sure Miss Annette gonna tell a selective few. All right, I believe she's on somebody close to Jarvis' property. That's why he won't tell it. We'll put that person in it. All right. So in the plea agreement, it talks about Naziah's whereabouts is not known for the public, to the public. Why did they put that there? Appreciate you, Cynthia. Shannon, why did they put that there? He didn't put her in the river. It was frozen at that time of the year. They got control. They don't like her mother. Same reason they didn't like Naziah. Shaking my head wicked. Now we got to understand this, because we don't know exactly when Naziah Harris was dumped in the river. Remember, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, DPD didn't get a hold of the case for 30 days. Now, listen, maybe on January the 9th, maybe on January the 10th, maybe there was snow on the ground. Maybe on January the 9th and January the 10th, maybe the river was froze. Maybe. But we don't know. We do not know when Naziah was dumped in that river. So we got to take all that in consideration. I don't trust Frank. He is up to something. I mean, only a fool, and I don't care who get mad at Shank Rock when I say this. Only a fool believe Frank. Only a fool. If you believe Frank, you's a fool. I don't know what else I could say. Now, y'all can get mad at Shank Rock all y'all want to and go run and tell people, Shank called you a fool because you believe Frank. I tell them, who can't see the bullshit that Frank put out there. But we'll get to Frank another time, y'all. Let me get back into this. So now Kim Worthy, Kim Worthy, she said from the beginning, because remember, there was a search, but then they called off the search. Why y'all think they called that search off? And go back. Because see, I love proving people wrong, not to be arrogant and not to be cocky, but I love proving people wrong when I tell y'all something. I always tell y'all, I don't know a lot. I know about that much. I don't know a lot, but I know what I know. And y'all remember when I done a demonstration, Jarvis is talking. I got the bump. I got, man, so many people was coming for me. But when it came out, Jarvis was talking. Same thing now. This demonstration is going to get debunked. But one thing y'all won't be able to say, Shank Rock ain't give it to y'all. Shank Rock ain't tell y'all. Kim Worthy. Matter of fact, I want to hold off on Kim Worthy because I want to land all my points before I get to Kim Worthy. And because we all know that Kim Worthy ain't ish. Now, for those that still stand by Kim Worthy, I'm not going to call y'all a fool. I'm just going to say that's y'all prerogative. If y'all choose to believe Kim Worthy, is for the people. Kim Worthy has had several complaints brought out against her. She have had several officials. She have had several high-ranking officials speak out about her. She has had cases brought against her. So we already know Kim messed up the case from the very beginning. She didn't even know Naziah's real name. Stop right there. And she didn't even bother to clear it up. Now, she could, be suffering from illness or things of that nature, because sometimes y'all know I forget things. But when I forget things, and if I put out something that I'm incorrect, I will come behind. And that's why y'all always hear me say, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to put out no false information. And I don't want to mislead the people on. But she didn't even know. She couldn't even pronounce Naziah's real name. That's a red flag. She also stated, and I could go on and on about the many lies that Kim Worthy has told, but I don't have to, because I be in a lot of those Facebook groups, and a lot of the new people that's on this case now, that's the first thing that the new people point out when it comes to the Naziah Harris case. Everybody know the BS that Kim Worthy put out there. Yes, they do. Where is Naziah Harris? Somebody knows. Somebody knows where she is. I've heard this. Some people were saying that, they're doing an autopsy on Naziah, and we know that, autopsies can take some time. And so some people feel like that's why right now they're not putting it out to the public, because they're still waiting on the autopsy now. And y'all can take it for what y'all want to take it. I've said this before. Even though Jarvis took that plea agreement, they still have their eyes on somebody. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all who eyes they are on, but they still got their eyes on somebody. Remember that. And it's a strong possibility that somebody else may be getting arrested. I'm not going to say who, but it's a strong possibility. Because see, in the Naziah Harris case, a lot of eyes, and everybody that mishandled Naziah's case, everybody got a boss, everybody got a supervisor, everybody got somebody over them. And those people that are over them, they ain't going to jeopardize losing their job. You know how if you got people that's underneath you, and when they make a mistake or when they do something, then the heat comes down on you. And the first thing you tell them is, hey, look, man, them people on to you. Especially if you got some dirt going on. And we all know, in Detroit, officials, y'all could be mad at Shank-Rock all y'all want to. But we know them officials up there in Michigan is corrupt as hell. It's a lot of ish going on up there with them officials. Now, take for granted, not all of them. Not all of them. There are some decent officials up there in Michigan. But 7 out of 10 of them officials up there in Michigan is corrupted. They ain't trying to have the heat come down on them. And then they get exposed for the BS that they got going on. They under the microscope. They are under the microscope. Kim Worthy, she got people that's underneath her. Kim Worthy also has people over her. And I do see the chat, and I will come to the chat. Let me, because I'm talking so much about Kim Worthy, let me tap into Kim Worthy, y'all. And y'all tell me what y'all think. Now, I will say this. According to Kim, she was inappropriately touched. And I will say, I do feel for you. I do. Because nobody should be, no child, no woman, and no man should be inappropriately touched. So I feel for you on that. However, there are a lot of women, there are a lot of children, and there are a lot of men, because they were inappropriate touch. They say hurt people hurt people. So there are a lot of men, women, and children that were inappropriately touched. They are cold. It made them cold. And many of them feel like nobody was there to protect me. So why should I protect you? Give me 1 second, y'all. Absolutely, Kim is just a puppet. Rex says they corrupt from the governor's office to the mayor's office, and all the police and prosecutors in the city of Detroit are no good. I can't pronounce your name. Think about it from the information I gathered. Took her out at the shop, walked across to the hotel to clean up, and put her in Tashiana's backyard because she said he was in her backyard messing around. That's true. That's true. I'm going to come back to you. Let's tap into Kim Worthy, y'all.
You might think a prosecutor Kim Worthy, there are many. From the case to the Tommy Kilpatrick
Charge only. Privy in a court proceeding.
These are not the cases that keep Worthy up at night.
What would you say has been your toughest case?
The ones that I think are the most gut-wrenching are the ones where we have children being shot.
Like the 13-year-old dragged in a car, killed, and discarded like trash.
It's a culture of violence in this region.
But not without more funding. Her office still relies on paper files.
there's so much more we can do if we were probably resourced.
Well, he's strong and has to be. At first woman, she was hit with the sting of criticism.
There is no excuse for what happened to this child, and Kim Worthy bears much of the responsibility.
A 23-year-old sent to prison unjustly at 15 after confessing to 4 murders. There's the evidence.
All right, let me stop right there. And there's more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my chat involved. Y'all talk to me about what y'all just saw. And those on the replay gang as well. Dee Dee says, speak on it, Shank. See, she has a history. You know, we all make mistakes. I make mistakes. But when it's your job and it's your profession, you keep making repeated mistakes over and over again. You have a problem. Her problem is mishandling cases. Not just one, not just two. She has a major problem of mishandling cases. Right? They tell me that Kim Worthy been in office for so long, people thought that nobody else, could even run against her. Nobody else wouldn't even step up to the plate because she's been in office for so long. Everybody felt like nobody would win against her. Somebody explain that to me. All right, talk to me, Cynthia. Kim Worthy ain't ish. Talk to me, Cynthia. Cynthia says, I disagree. Talk to me. Talk to me. Jennifer says she's not being held accountable either. I mean, it's right there, everybody. Like I said, take it for granted. We all make mistakes. We all have bad days. Shank-Rock had bad days. Lawyers had bad days. Judges, we all had bad days. But Shank-Rock don't have bad years. It's one thing when you having bad years. Can somebody, anybody, show me a case where Kim Worthy didn't fumble the bag? Cynthia says, y'all don't live in Detroit. You're absolutely right about that, Cynthia. We don't live in Detroit. However, there are more people that live in Detroit that feel the same way that we feel. 87% of the people in Detroit feel the same way about Kim Worthy that we all feel. You're right. We don't live in Detroit. But that don't stop us just because we don't live in Detroit. That don't stop us from knowing what's going on in Detroit. 80s baby, I see. Dee Dee says, I live in Detroit. Talk to us, Dee Dee. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everybody else is wrong. Takesha says, what do living there have to do with anything? Bingo. Cornell, I live in Detroit and feel the same way. There you go. There you go. I live in Detroit and know she's a puppet for the higher ups. Cynthia says, no. Renee says, so is Kim scared to do the right thing because she lives in Detroit? Appreciate this super sticker, Aggie. Cornell says, I live in Detroit and I don't know what Cynthia talking about. That's what I'm saying, Cynthia. I'm in Detroit and I agree with you. It's only you, Cynthia. And it's okay that you feel the way you feel. But as you can see, there are many people in the chat from Detroit feel the same way. Facts. People been wanting Kim out of there. KB Graham said the same thing. I see you blessed to be. Cynthia says, so. Black Luna says, I agree as well, 7 Mile. Let me grab 7 Mile. I must have skipped over. If I skipped over y'all comment, my bad. Sometimes the comments don't show up on the computer. Let me see if it's on the on my phone. I don't want to skip over nobody's comment. Another Cynthia from Detroit. What's your take on it, Cynthia? How do you feel about Kim Worthy? That's where I'm from, Shank. LOL. I see you, Black Luna. Shout out to Detroit. Detroit up in here deep. Black Luna says, it's Detroit streets. I see you, TT. Somebody needs to run to get her out of that seat. I see you, Big Mama. Mel says she had to be voted out. Cynthia says, well, vote for who y'all want.
Leadership, though, is in her genes.
My father was the first African-American man from Michigan to graduate.
But her career was raped, and she did not tell a soul. Railed. In her 20s while in law school, Worthy was raped, and she did not tell a soul.
It's more regret than a little guilt, also, because I didn't report it.
Only 20 rape cases are ever reported.
Fall through because of time that would derail me. I believed every stereotype that really still exists about dealing with a sexual assault victim and how they're treated. That's the process.
But Worthy will not play the victim card. She is a who delivers a powerful message when he's
Even when I heard you speak to these high school kids, you were like, do not let any challenge or any thing that may have happened to you bad in life
Define you.
tooth and nail to have hundreds of rape kits left to rot in storage tested.
When I look at you, and I've seen you out at many events, people cheer.
With me, there seems to be no gray area. Either they really like me or they really don't. And I really don't worry about that.
Worthy is also an advocate for children. She lost her own baby, only 19 days old, and later adopted 3 children, one now in college and 7-year-old twins.
I don't have a lot of tolerance for people who let what happened to them 5 years ago, 10 years ago define who they are now. You've got to move forward.
Worthy is a survivor who believes, as the elected prosecutor, it's her job to always be fair.
We make our decisions the best that we can based on the evidence we have.
Well, I mean, once again, y'all, I know it's a sensitive subject, so I'm going to be careful with my choices of words. However, it still doesn't take away from, because we could just deal with the Nazaria Harris case. Right? Let me grab some comments, y'all. Let me grab some comments. I can't stand her, you know what? If the people don't stand up and ask for change, she will never change. Everything will remain the same. It's going to be Kim worthless until the end. She has no soul. She's about herself and her career. I see you, JoJo. All right, if that happened to you, look like you be fighting better for our black children and our black ladies in Detroit to get these people off the street. She full of it. Kenya says BS. Salute, Tammy. Yeah, she needs to go. They can't handle it. She has many cases right now. A runaway was locked in the guy's house, and when he heard they were looking for her, she escaped. He's being prosecuted by Kim. Now, I did see that, and somebody did send that to me. So I will be going over that case later on today. All right. I see you, Michelle. My case is just sitting on Worthless desk. I see you, Sagittarian. It's Nicole from okay. I see you. All right. Sagittarian Queen. I got you. I see you, Shy. A convicted serial red rum can give a convincing speech and probably has a sad backstory. True facts. Yes, exactly. I see you, Mia. Hey, brother Shank, how are you? I'm doing good, Mia. How you doing? I'm in the chat today. Tell my boys hello, Ashton and Braden. What's up, Ashton and Braden? And y'all, I gotta be careful. No more, because I got kids watching me. Yeah, I got kids. I'm winning, everybody. I'm winning because I got kids. Little kids is looking up the Shank Rock. So I can't use my favorite word no more. I got to keep it clean, everybody. I got to keep it clean. I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming. Cynthia calls us haters. The other Cynthia said in DPS, yes, Detroit strong. Worthy is worthless and needs to go. They need new leadership. So is it okay to question if she allowed her lack of care and compassion of Naziah is carried from her alleged assault? That's facts, Erica. Erica says she is horrible. She really is. Tammy says he didn't, Shank. I see you, Sean. I see y'all. All right, let me grab Luna. I see you, JoJo. Let me grab Luna. The case with the girl and her mom stabbing at a school got probation today. Wow, y'all, wow. It's another form of black on black crime. How many of Kim Worthy cases involve blacks? I can't pronounce, I can't pronounce that. Essie and Essie. See, Essie, you trying to trip me up. She's been in that position since 2004 for children's sake. Vote her out. Vote her out, y'all. Vote her out. Vote her out. Let me drop this link. I ain't going to hold y'all too much longer. I see you, Tula. I'm trying to make sure I get enough of y'all comments. Facts. If Kim runs again, I'm voting for her. And that's your prerogative, Cynthia. That's your prerogative. It's funny how people got promoted or switched jobs after they nailed Jarvis. I'm doing good, Shank. Thanks for asking, King. You welcome, Queen. You welcome. Let me get this link dropped. I'm an actual social worker in Detroit, so I know how Detroit system get down. Wow. Thanks, Cornell. All right, y'all. Let me grab you, Tuna. I wonder what made the reporter use the words victim card when talking about Kim's SA. Was that Kim's words or the reporter? Either way, it's a huge downplay on victims' trauma. Exactly. I see you, Kenyatta. I see all of them. All right, y'all. Just made their whole day. Thank you. You welcome. Kenyatta. Cordell, are those monsters going to be able to get those children back? Please say no chance. Good evening, Mr. Shank Mars. Have you talked to those close to Kim Worthy in her office? I haven't, Phyllis. I haven't. I can. Whoever vote for her is just as guilty in as her. I see you, Kalia. I see. I didn't vote for her the last time when she got in. All right, y'all. So let me ask y'all this. Because I see you, Marie. I'm gonna ask y'all this. Do y'all still feel as though Jarvis lied about dumping Naziah in the Rouge River? Drop a 3. If you still feel like Jarvis is lying. Drop a 4 if you think that he told the truth. Kim has to do what she's told to do. This case is big, and so stuff has potentially to be exposed. So if the elites have potential to be exposed by this case, so it has to go away to save other people. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. And that could be true. That could be true. She has a good conviction rate. Hey, been following you since day one. Just been in the bushes and striving for justice for baby girl. Can I get everybody to give Rebel with Class a warm welcome? Appreciate you, Rebel with Class. Because ain't no telling what they will do with kids when or if they get them kids back. You right. You right, man. You right. I want to get your comment. Hold up. Chat moving fast, y'all. Here you go. Exactly. Somebody keep voting her in. I didn't vote for her. I see you, Miss DOC. I see you. I believe her body was moved from the river. I see you, Janice. Make sure y'all subscribe to my backup channel. I know I've been saying I'm going to be going live on my backup channel, but I will be going live on the backup channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to the backup channel, Shank Rock Films. So these are the things that we have to look forward to on Friday. I'm sure many of y'all already know, but if you don't already know, on Friday, Toot will be interviewing Judge Sabrae. Yes. So I can't wait for that interview. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my Isha, also on Friday, my Isha will be having a marathon, and she's invited me along with the other content creators that has been covering the Nazaria Harris case. She's inviting all of us, and also Miss Parker and her riders. Miss Parker is having her first meet and greet. So shout out to Miss Parker and her riders for their meet and greet. There's one more thing that I wanted to show y'all about Kim Worthy before we get out of here. Give me 1 second, y'all. There's one more thing, and then we're going to get out of here. I believe Jarvis keeping her close somewhere nobody knows, not the found. Tone will meet with the AG on March the 31st too. That's also good. Shout out to Tone. Shout out to everybody that's putting in work in this case. Shout out to everybody that's putting work in this case. Question: if that woman was SA, why she whole? I would tell the whole world asking for help, and why is she alive? I don't know, Marie. Good question. Good question, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. And many of y'all know that she also was involved in the Baby Oil Man case. So, but that's not the video that I'm looking for about Kim. Just bear with me, y'all. Just bear with me. Make sure y'all private. I see you, Nisi. Appreciate that, Yvette C. The family is covering up for each other, and the government is covering up for each other. We may never know the truth. That's true. That's true. True. Kim have not the people of Detroit and has dirt on her to keep your dirt covered. That's true. That's true. I'm glad Jarvis was found guilty. The community needs to do everything they can to stop the kids from going back, protest, riot, and call CPS. That's so true, Big Mama. And make sure we are signing any and all petitions in the Desire Hurst case. Make sure we are signing any and all petitions in the Desire Hurst case. And that's Tootie's link as well. If y'all haven't subscribed to her, go ahead over there and subscribe to her, because she's going to have Judge Sabre on her platform. So that's Toot's link as well. TT drop Toot's link. Yes, Diddy. Wow, a lot has been going on in Detroit with these rappers. I didn't know Diddy was doing business here too. Yeah, Cynthia. And that's another petition that TT dropped. Let's get these petitions signed, everybody. And God's Child's Blessings has dropped my Shank Rock Films channel. I know he took the plea, but I feel like he ain't done. He going to tell on Shannon and Timu Wig, in my opinion. But I'm just glad he was found guilty. I'm with you, Mia. I'm with you, Mia, all the way. But like I said, in the future, look for something else to come out. Look for something else to come out. What about the other child that came up missing? I'm sure Annette and them did the same to that child as well. And Kim is helping cover this mess up. Facts. That's facts. Wow, lady, Miss Kim is a mess. Why she is a black woman? Why she not thinking a safe place for all and wake the hell up? I'm right there with you, Marie. I'm right there with you. It's going to take the community to get things done. I'm in Detroit, and the recent young lady was found. It was because of the community nonstop involvement. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. And the men, and y'all know how I am, the men that's not standing up, because I'm sure that there are a lot of men that is standing up. But for the men that are not standing up to protect these babies, to protect these children, we need all men to stand up and do what's right and protect these babies. Why would CPS return these children back to Annette, Shannon, or Marquita, especially after they've testified? It's like returning them back into the hands of the predators and inflicting more harm. That's facts. That's facts. I believe Marquita told her baby, well, that ain't your father, that ain't your dad. You shouldn't have got in the car with him. What type of shit is that? Who? Frank comes out after all this time talking, man, Frank, go back in your hole. We know. That's facts, Tammy. I see you, sexy boss. I see you. You can't make this ish up, y'all. I mean, if you gonna come out with that bullshit, you might as well just stay away. Just stay away. I feel there is going to be more arrests. She has no one running against her. So if that's truly the case, she's going to keep her position. And that's what I heard, Miss Cheeks. Don't nobody run against Kim Worthy. So if she don't got nobody running against her, and that's weird. That's weird. Nobody running against Kim Worthy? Yes, exactly. Somebody is going to start singing like a canary. I hope I pronounced right. Once again, everybody, this Friday is my birthday. If you would like to bless me with a small donation for my birthday, my cash app is $ERICMCINT. Yes, exactly. Real talk. Like I said earlier, Shank, give Kim Worthless her walking papers. And make sure y'all hit that like button. I thought Annette had a relative in DPD. Ain't no telling who all Annette got in DPD, Cynthia. It ain't no telling. You know? And remember, everybody, if you see something that's not right, please, please report it to the local authorities. If you see something that's not right, please get involved the best way that you know how to get involved. We are those nosy neighbors that we had when we was growing up. We are those nosy neighbors. So you want us to snitch, Shank? When it comes to protecting these kids, I want you to snitch. When it comes to protecting these kids, you supposed to snitch. Nah, I can't go out like that, Shank. I'm too hood, Shank. I'm a street nigga. Yeah, all right. All right. I know street niggas snitch when they break the law and they get jammed up. I know street niggas that don't got no problem snitching when they out there in the streets breaking the law. They snitch. So what's the problem with you snitching to protect a child? If you ain't going to handle it yourself, now I don't promote violence, but if you ain't going to snitch, then I expect for you to handle it. Read between the lines. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate the super chat, Angela. Appreciate you, Angela. Cynthia, she does. She has a son that works in one of the departments, allegedly. April says, yeah, Shank, we here cannot stand her. I don't understand that she's been in office this long. They need a cutoff period to be in office. Give somebody else a chance. I feel you, April. Her son works for DPD. I got to say allegedly, y'all. Read between the lines. Her son is a correctional officer. Allegedly. Read between the lines. Yes, I'm nosy as hell. Cynthia says I'm nosy as hell. But we got to, y'all. We got, look, everybody. We lived our life. And I'm sure we still got more to live. We lived our life. And some of us are stuck in our ways. Some of us you can't change. Some of us you can't fix. However, we got these babies, y'all. We got to think about these babies. And we just can't stand by and watch the madness take our babies like this. Nah, I don't want to hear it. Let's pray about it, Shank. No. When it comes to protecting these babies, we got to do more than pray. When it comes to protecting these babies, we got to get involved in our communities. We got to get involved in our families. When it comes to protecting these babies, nah, you ain't got to be perfect. Nah, you ain't got to be Muslim. You ain't got to be Christian. You ain't got to go to church. Nah, you can drink. You could be a drunk and still protect the babies. You could be a dope fiend or a crackhead and still protect the babies. You could be a 304 and still protect the babies. You could still do your thing and protect the babies. In the year 2026, it's no excuse for us to not be protecting these babies. It's no excuse. Make sure y'all throw up some purple hearts, some pink hearts for Naziah. Also, make sure y'all hashtag, where is Naziah Harris? At this point, Cynthia worked for Kim or somebody in that family. Facts, because we all, these babies have, their family clearly don't give a, you know what? Black Security, Queen Latina. They are trafficking these kids. CPS doesn't care. Deborah, come on now, because whatever, you know. All right, y'all. Deidre, come on now, because she's tripping. I can't see all of them, y'all. TT straight tripping. I don't know what y'all got going on there, y'all. Crazy work. No, just nosy. Generational Kirk broken, working hard. True facts, yes. Let's go, Shank. Real talk, Shank. I mean, we got to do better, y'all. We do. We got to raise these babies. Like I said, some of us, we can't be fixed. And that's all right. That's all right. But we got to protect these babies. I say it all the time. Today, we advocating for Naziah. Tomorrow, it might be your loved one that we have to advocate for. Somebody cared enough for us when we was young. Somebody cared enough for us when we was little to protect us. So we need to do the same thing. We need to protect these babies, y'all. We need to lay a foundation down. Remember, Martin Luther King and those before us, they laid a foundation down for us so we could be able to vote, so we could be able to go to better schools, get a better higher education. We didn't lay down that. We didn't lay down that foundation. Somebody before you and I, some old folks before you and I laid the foundations down for us to have the benefits of what we are accomplishing today. So what and where is our legacy? Martin Luther King and those before us, they laid down their legacy. They done what they were supposed to do. What is you and I doing for the future generations to come? Question, Shank, do you have any update on Shanquella Robinson yet? Not yet, Marie, not yet. Yes, we do. These babies need protection. It's only by the content creators, supporters, advocates, and the public's persistent and insistent coverage, connecting pieces, keeping fire under Kim Worthy, Naziah would only be listed as missing. That's facts, Essie. That's facts. That's why every opportunity I get, I shout out all the content creators and all of the subscribers. Shout out everybody. Because this would have just been a case that was swept up against the rug. I know some people feel like the content creators made it messy. It wasn't the content creators that made it messy. I know some of y'all feel like the content creators brought all that drama. It wasn't the content creators that brought the drama. And I'm going to leave it at that. It was the content creators on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and other social media platforms that was fighting hard for Naziah Harris. So as a content creator, pop your collar, take a bow, or whatever it is that you choose to do, pat yourself on the back. You done a wonderful job. And I'm going to always say that. Where is Naziah? Justice for Naziah Harris. No, the family made it messy. And I stand on that. So let us keep fighting. Let us keep pushing. Make sure you backtrack Shank Rock's demonstrations. Make sure you backtrack your favorite content creators' demonstrations. Because now that things have played out somewhat, now we can go back and recap a lot of our demonstrations, y'all. If it wasn't for the public, those kids would still be in their home because they was told not to tell facts. It's sad the way things are going now. It won't be a next generation. Kids are leaving too early. That's facts, Angela. Hey, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. And I'll see y'all back at 10 p.m. All right, salute. I will leave the chat running and you all can hang around. I'll see y'all back at 10 p.m. Welcome everybody to this demonstration. What does Shank Rock Films mean to the community? Well, Shank Rock Films is a place for people like you and I with a story to tell, with a story that needs to be exposed. Shank Rock Films is a place for that story to be told on. Unfortunately, platforms aren't able to get to everybody's story, and that's okay. That's fine. We want to thank those platforms that do bring us stories. We want to thank them for the stories that they do bring. Once again, my platform is all about the people with these stories that can't make it to these larger platforms. So, thanks to everybody that has been supporting me. I do have a lot of back stories that I need to get pushed out into the algorithm to make these stories go viral. I really need for you to share the stories. Now, people say, well, Shank, what is sharing going to do? Sharing is going to help push that story into the algorithm. I've been able to be on the team of some stories that have made it viral. How did they go viral? The shares. The shares, the shares, the shares. So I see a lot of people that visit my page. I see a lot of people that's in my stories. I see a lot of people that's in my friend suggestions, which lets me know that the people is watching Shank Rock Films. So now what I need the people to do, I need the people to share these stories. What stories, Shank Rock? Any stories that you see me put in the title, please share this story to help make go viral. Those are the stories that I need for you to help me make go viral. In LA right now, I have a story out here in LA that me and John Barnett is covering. And this story, and you'll hear about this story later on at the press conference, but this story is one of those stories that you be like, wow, they did him like that. I'll give y'all just a little peep on what this story is about. It's about a young man that has been incarcerated for 6 years, going on 7 years. His co-defendants have been to trial. His co-defendants beat the case. But this young man, after 6 years, going on 7 years, is still being detained with no bond. Make sure y'all stay tuned for Shank Rock Films press conference, Los Angeles, California. Salute everybody, and I appreciate all of the support that I have been getting. Salute everybody. Shank Rock is the wave of the future. Let's talk about some of these beefs you've been into.
Yeah, that's what I love. That's what I love. Let's get to it.
Now, look, I'm going to save her for last, or should I start off with Brorilla first?
Her? You said her. That's a her to you? Man, that bitch look like a security guard at a music club.